Ladies and gentlemen, from the rom-com capital of the world, New York City, it's the 3rd annual Vito Awards, with special appearances by Patrick Willems. Here's your host, Patrick Willems!
Is Patrick not in the studio?
I don't know. Jesus fucking Christ, it is cold outside. Oh, that is the last time I go outside in 10-degree weather in just my rental tuxedo. Anyway, good to see you all. How's everyone doing? So I've been catching up on all the 2024 movies for the Vitos, and have you guys seen Better Man? The musical biopic about Robbie Williams where he's a monkey? Because I just saw it and it is insane.
Patrick.
So in the movie, he's a monkey, but no one ever talks about how he's a monkey or acknowledges it, and no one else is a monkey, except that Robbie keeps seeing versions of himself from the past also as monkeys, including the skinless version of himself in the Rocky...
the Vitos started 63 seconds ago.
Well then, I guess I'd better go host them. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Vito Awards. Now I'm sorry, this is getting started a few minutes late. I was just busy watching the movie Better Man, the music biopic starring a monkey, and folks, if you haven't seen it, you need to. Seriously, go while it's still in theaters. The musical numbers are unreal. There's this giant battle scene with 100,000 monkeys. The main monkey, he does so much cocaine in the movie.
Patrick, sorry to interrupt, but you need to stay on track. Remember, you told me, and I quote, Emma, don't let me make the Vitos a 2-part video.
Aw, but I love 2-part videos. Like we did with the trains, and actually, yeah, now that I think of it, you might be right. Anyway, 2024 is over. Another year of movies, which means another year of this. A fake award show celebrating and awarding the best of cinema from the past year as chosen by a voting body consisting of literally just me. I know this sounds like a conversation opener with your significant other's parents who you have nothing in common with, but wow, what a year of movies, huh? I mean, yeah, technically you can say that about every year, every 12 months, a whole lot of movies are released. But this was kind of a weird year. Every few months, it seemed like movies were either dead, or back, and bigger than ever. It kicked off with us all getting very excited that original movies like Challengers and Civil War were actually doing well. People were going to see them. And then a month later, everyone lost their mind and declared that movies were dead because Furiosa and The Fall Guy underperformed. Until it turned out that, oops, no, things are actually okay after all. Inside Out 2 is here to save us. And now, months later, Wicked is the biggest thing in the world. Everyone, not just theater kids, is going to see it. And yet Hollywood is still wondering, do people actually like musicals? Do they really? No one is actually watching Wicked for the songs, right? So we should keep hiding in the trailers that these are musicals, right? Still too early to say. Years from now, 2024 will probably be remembered as the year of the popcorn buckets, which, let's be real, peaked at the very beginning with Dune. I, for one, am still shivering at the thought of those sandworm teeth running down my forearm as I reach for a handful of buttery popcorn to mash into my face. And that magic will never be recreated, so just stop trying. And yes, I'm talking to you, Wolverine mouth and Roman Coliseum. At this point, you're just wasting plastic. What I'm saying is that in 2024, everyone just kept on making boneheaded decisions. Netflix, you knew they were coming, had a potential theatrical hit starring one of the hottest new bankable sets of abs, stars in Hollywood, and then, of course, stuck to their policy of dumping it on streaming where everyone forgot about it after a week. In 2023, Apple had actually committed to putting their movies in theaters, where they could, make money and be treated like real movies. And then this year, right when they had a splashy George Clooney, Brad Pitt movie, they decided, nah, enough of that. They bailed on all of their theatrical plans and just threw their movies onto the internet, leading director John Watts to cancel the already announced and greenlit sequel to Wolves because he was just legitimately betrayed. But don't worry, it's not just the tech companies, the old school studios can do it too. Warner Brothers had the possibly final film from Clint Eastwood, a critically acclaimed legal thriller, and they put it straight onto Max after a tiny, unceremonious theatrical run, even branding it with those 3 words that every filmmaker loves, a Max original. But don't worry, folks, the movies are okay, because Amazon Studios' instant holiday classic Red One was released in IMAX theaters because, as Dwayne told us,
this thing, Red One on this screen, with this technology, it's gonna be game over.
The previous 2 years, 2022 and 2023, the biggest blockbusters of the year were also critically acclaimed cultural phenomena that ended up with Best Picture nominations. This year, that didn't happen. I mean, you might have enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine or Inside Out 2, but I don't think anyone would argue they were the best movies of the year. Even Ryan Reynolds would agree that if there was one movie to see this year with a bunch of guys in red suits beating the shit out of each other, it was Conclave. The truth is, there were tons of great movies in 2024, but the critical favorites, like The Brutalist or Nickel Boys, were a bit too esoteric to cross over to the mainstream. And so you have general audiences saying that 2024 was a total snooze for movies, and then cinephiles saying, no, it was actually great. Didn't you see that 4-hour drama about the Holocaust survivor building a community center and getting addicted to heroin? Dune Part 2 was actually the rare crossover critical and commercial success, but our memories are mush now, and no one can remember back that far. March 2024 is just this big blur scored to the pounding bass of the Challengers soundtrack. We are deep in the middle of Timothée Chalamet's awards campaign for a totally different movie. It's a new world now, a world where we have a Robbie Williams music biopic starring a CGI monkey. Like, I know I live in America, and most of this channel's audience is American, and Americans famously don't know who Robbie Williams is, and I'm saying Robbie Williams, not Robin Williams, but I really can't stress this enough. There is a $100 million music biopic out there right now in which a talking monkey does heroin and hangs out with Oasis.
Patrick!
Okay, fine, we can get to it. So, the 3rd annual Vito Awards, which this time we are doing in January instead of March, since we thought, I don't know, maybe we'll get more views if we do it before everyone is totally sick of hearing about these movies. We can promise you 2 things here at the Vitos. Number 1, a great alternative to Oscar night, where we get to celebrate the under-discussed and underappreciated qualities of the movies of 2024. And 2, we'll get it all done in under an hour. Seriously, let's just get a couple awards out of the way right up top to show you we're serious. So, the award for Best Jar Jar Binks Impression goes to Hugh Grant in Heretic. Remember when that happened? That was wild.
Father, excuse me.
Never mind.
What a movie. Okay, hey, let's do another one. This is the award for Longest Legs. Ooh, wonder who it'll be. And it goes to, in a surprise upset, the alien-human hybrid from the end of Alien Romulus. Spoilers for that movie. And, okay, well, one more. This is fun. The award for Best Movie about an American woman moving to Italy to become a nun and getting impregnated against her will by a sinister group within the Catholic Church goes to, it's a tie. between The First Omen and Immaculate, two movies that were out in theaters at the same time, which was really crazy. I actually went to see them both in the same day, and what a day that was. So yeah, as you can see, we're doing these super fast, and we have a great team working on the show tonight. Emma, of course, will be our awards handler for the night. Emma, how's it going? You taking the night off from your thesis paper on Val Kilmer's The Saint?
It's called Mimesis and Desire in the Saint, Val Kilmer's traveler searching for purity.
I don't know what that means, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And what's an award show without red carpet coverage? So outside on the streets of Manhattan, asking all the celebrities passing by some fun questions, here's, I still don't know what this guy's name is. You.
Thanks, Patrick. I'm here on the Vito's red carpet waiting to talk to celebs showing up.
Wait, you're not on the red carpet, you're here in the studio. I can see you over there. You've got to go outside for this bit.
Patrick, it's 4 degrees outside. Plus, nobody really shows up to this show.
Well, not usually, but anything could happen. This is New York City. What if right now, I don't know, Nicholas Hoult is just strolling by on the sidewalk outside and there's no one down there to ask him who he's wearing? Come on, you gotta get out there.
All right.
And remember, if you start to feel numb, just rub your chest and your arms will take care of themselves. This is gonna be great. Anyway, we wanted to kick off tonight's ceremony with a tribute of sorts. An emotional goodbye to the Kraven the Hunter trailer. That's right, you may not remember, but after years of delays and the trailer playing in theaters for a full year and a half, Kraven the Hunter, the movie, was actually finally released. And that means we're never going to see our favorite Russian hunter again. Or sit there in a theater and say, why is Russell Crowe in this? Or say, that must have come out by now, didn't it? No? Really? Christmas? So to commemorate this moment, we have friend of the show, Chloe Holgate here, for a special musical tribute. Chloe, come on out.
Hey, Patrick!
Nobbles, where's Chloe?
Chloe had to bow out this evening. She's prepping for the off-Broadway debut of her new musical.
Oh, right, that plotline we established.
Exactly! And that means that I'm gonna be the one to step in.
No, Nobbles, look, I'm not trying to be rude here, but I don't think that anybody wants to hear your high-pitched, grating voice sing that song.
As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives change, come whatever, we will still be friends forever.
Presenting the award for Best Needle Drop, former Vito's host, Patrick Willems.
Now, we all love an original score, an exciting, brand new musical theme. But also, sometimes you just want to hear a song that you already love from 20 years ago, but now in a weird new context. It's no secret that on this channel, we love a good needle drop. I mean, we've got a whole video about it. I'm allowed to plug our own videos, right?
I don't see anything in the rules against it.
Awesome. So this year gave us a handful of fantastic needle drops. And the nominees are, from Anora, Greatest Day by Take That. From Baby Girl, Father Figure by George Michael. From Bird, Yellow by Coldplay. From The Fall Guy, the Miami Vice theme song. From Queer, Musicology by Prince. And from Venom: The Last Dance, Memories by Maroon 5. Forget you, buddy. And the veto goes to Venom, The Last Dance. That Maroon 5 song, which is so silly at the end. But, you know, it gets an award. All right, Emma, here you go.
Presenting the award for Best Puke, potential future Vito's host, Patrick Willems.
To make a movie takes guts, and sometimes just having them isn't enough. Sometimes you have to show them guts, and that takes the most guts of all. The nominees for Best Puke are Civil War, Dune Part 2, Immaculate, I Saw the TV Glow, Love Lies Bleeding, Nosferatu, Twisters, and the veto goes to Love Lies Bleeding. Well deserved, an incredible puke.
Presenting the award for Best Cardinal, a guy who never even had his first communion, Patrick Willems.
This year gave us an ungodly, or should I say godly, number of great cinematic cardinals. And no, I'm not talking about St. Louis here. Donning that swaggy sacerdotal drip and shaking that dang aspergillum till we're all getting wet. The nominees for Best Cardinal are Cardinal Benitez from Conclave, Cardinal Lawrence from The First Omen, Cardinal Lawrence from Conclave, Cardinal Marola from Immaculate, and Cardinal Tedesco from Conclave. And the veto goes to Cardinal Benitez from Conclave. I mean, spoilers, he gets elected Pope in the end, so yeah, it kind of had to be him, but congrats. Here, Emma?
Presenting the award for movie whose success makes me most afraid for the future of cinema, waking in his tuxedo, it's Patrick Willems.
Now, I like to think I'm a happy-go-lucky moviegoer, but these are the movies that keep me up at night. The success of these movies, more than any natural disaster, election, or irregular mole I should absolutely get looked at, make me worry. What if Hollywood learns all the wrong lessons, as they are wont to do? What if this is what the next decade of cinema will be? What if some people have slightly different taste in movies than I do? Truly a horrifying hypothetical. The nominees for movie whose success makes me most afraid for the future of cinema are Alien Romulus, Deadpool and Wolverine, Moana 2, Wicked, and the veto goes to none of them. Come on, guys, any movie doing well is a good thing. Do I wish that, I don't know, Challengers had made more money than Deadpool and Wolverine? Yes, of course I do. But fundamentally, am I always glad people are going to watch anything at all? Yes. Also, I thought Wicked was pretty good. So, Emma, you don't have to accept this award. I'm just gonna walk off now. Last year, we dedicated one of our several obligatory tribute montages to Mr. Josh Hartnett, who had finally arrived at the mainstream comeback that I had hoped for so many years. And so, when debating who to dedicate this year's tribute montage to, there was only one obvious choice. Josh Hartnett again. This guy had a great year. We love him. This is for you, Josh.
Here on earth, and that's why we are Joshua Daniel.
Presenting the award for Best Vaping. And personally speaking, I don't think he's ever even vaped once, so what would he know? Patrick Willems.
The cigarette. Those oh-so-cinematic little sticks that helped make film icons across the 20th century. Bogart, Dean, Dietrich. Until we found out they are incredibly carcinogenic. But luckily, a new brand of suckable thumb drives showed up to save our smokeless screens. And now, we're blowing out fat clouds of bubblegum steam, like the demented walking choo-choo trains from the 1800s we are. 2024 was truly the year that vaping took the movies by storm. And so, the nominees for Best Vaping are Sergio Castellitto in Conclave, Mark Edelstein in Anora, Mikey Madison in Anora, George McKay in The Beast, and Channing Tatum in Blink Twice. And the veto goes to Sergio Castellitto. I mean, come on, we all knew it had to be when Cardinal Tedesco vapes. One of the best moments of the year. Congratulations. Emma? Oh, hey, how'd it go out there? Any celebrities show up?
No, not yet. I just came in to get some feeling back in my fingers.
Oh, well, you know, you gave it a good shot. You can just stay inside now.
No, I'm going back out there. I feel like Sir John Franklin exploring the North Pole. I'm gonna find a celebrity to talk to in this frozen tundra and ask what they thought was a gas or a pass in 2024.
That was weird.
I know. I wonder if he knows that Sir John Franklin and his men were lost and never made it to the North Pole.
Presenting the award for Best Naughty Little Monkey, here's Weird Little Freak, Patrick Willems.
Throughout the ages, cinema has given us a number of wonderfully prankish and playful silver screen apes. Bonzo, Dunstan, MVP Most Valuable Primate, and this year had no shortage of those ooh-ooh-ah-ah moments so good it almost had you flinging your own feces in celebration. The nominees for Best Naughty Little Monkey are everyone in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Robbie Williams in Better Man, the Flying Monkeys in Wicked, Dev Patel in Monkey Man, Dondas in Gladiator 2, and Feathers McGraw in Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most... Hey, wait a second! That's a penguin! That's not a monkey! You are formally disqualified, sir. Okay. Now that that's resolved, the veto goes to... Yes! Robbie Williams in Better Man, a real movie that exists, and I saw, and I think you should also go see. Emma, please take this.
Presenting the award for Best Fall, Fail Compilation Enthusiast, Patrick Willems.
In the immortal words of Sir Michael Caine, playing the role of Batman's butler Alfred Pennyworth, why do we fall? My answer to that question? To win a veto. The nominees for Best Fall are Donald Trump in The Apprentice, The Final Fall in The Fall Guy, The Pane of Glass falling in The First Omen, when Madam Web falls off the big Pepsi sign in Madam Web, and when Josh Hartnett pushes that girl down the stairs in Trap. And the veto goes to... I mean, it kind of had to be The Fall Guy. The big final fall. I mean, you know, it's a movie about impressive falls. Like, if it can't win this, then what's it even doing? Emma?
Presenting the award for movie that most deserved a proper release, Nebula's favorite star and most handsome creator, Nobble! Wait, never mind, it's Patrick Willems again.
Now, I complain about streaming so much on this channel that it has kind of become a cliche at this point. But that won't stop me from leaning into it and making my frustration into its own award. While I wish that I could save all of the films that were unceremoniously put out to pasture in the endless wasteland of streaming, the best I can do is give one of them a gold spray-painted Funko Pop. So, the nominees for movie most deserving of a proper release are Blitz, Juror Number 2, Rebel Ridge, Wolves, and The Young Woman and the Sea. And the veto goes to... in a surprise upset, The Young Woman and the Sea. Because look, we used to get these every year in theaters. A Disney-released, inspirational, PG-rated sports movie that is well made with like really good, solid filmmaking, a good movie star performance, and now seeing this on streaming, still like handsomely made, I'm like, what are we doing here? Disney, come on! Here, am I take this?
Presenting the award for movie I enjoyed at a film festival that I'm most afraid to watch again, 2024 Cannes Film Festival attendee. We get it, Mr. Humblebrag. Patrick Willems.
Every year, countless movies premiere at major festivals and achieve the coveted thing that we call festival buzz. And then, months later, when the public finally sees those movies, they go, what the fuck were critics smoking? That sucked. Well, this past year, I attended the Cannes Film Festival for the first time. And I think I get it now. Because when you are watching everything in a fugue state, stumbling blindly from one screening to another, not sleeping nearly enough, yeah, sometimes your takes might be a little bit sus. And so, the nominee for movie I enjoyed at a festival that I am most afraid to watch again are The Apprentice, Amelia Perez, Megalopolis, and the veto goes to... yeah, I saw this coming. Amelia Perez. Look, when I saw this, I had no clue what it was, and I had no expectations. I just kind of blindly walked into a room in a really, really long day, and I was just excited that a movie was taking these big, wild swings. I was like, oh shit, it's a musical about this? This is wild. And the thing is, now that like everyone hates it, maybe on second watch, I would be horrified by what I saw. But I don't know. Maybe we'll never know, because I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again. What can I tell you? Emma, take this.
Presenting the award for fictional band or artist whose concert I most want to attend, sworn enemy of Ticketmaster, Patrick Willems.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, Josie and the Pussycats, Stillwater, Connor for Real. Cinema history is filled with iconic bands and artists we desperately wish were real. 2024 brought so many contenders we were able to create a whole category devoted to it. And so, the nominees for fictional band or artist whose concert I most want to attend are August Moon from The Idea of You, Lady Raven from Trap, Vesta Sweetwater from Megalopolis, Sky Riley from Smile 2, and Robbie Williams from Better Man. Okay, wait a second, who put him in there? Because that is, I swear to God, Robbie Williams is a real person. He's very famous everywhere else in the world. He even anyone remember in 99, the song Millennium? That was a hit here. It was on MTV back then. Why does no one believe me? Anyway, the veto goes to Better not be Robbie Williams. Okay. Sky Riley from Smile 2. Because, look, the truth is that her concert just looked the best. It's just like, you know, the most visually exciting. She's like the best performer, I think, of the bunch. So yeah, shout out Sky Riley. Emma?
Presenting the award for Best Musical Performance, one-time Eras Tour attendee, Patrick Willems.
Even better than a great needle drop in a movie is when one of the characters effectively says, fuck it, we'll do it live, and manifests their own damn needle drop. The nominees for Best Musical Performance are From My Old Ass, One Less Lonely Girl. From A Complete Unknown, Like a Rolling Stone. From Kneecap, Guilty Conscience. From Better Man, Rock DJ. And from Wicked, Popular. And the veto goes to... That's right, from Better Man, it is Rock DJ. Truly the best musical number of the year. Like you can watch it all on YouTube right now, but I'd recommend doing it in a theater. Okay, I'm getting signals from off camera that I should shut up about this movie and move on with the show. So Emma.
Presenting the award for Best Kiss, Smooch Scrutinizer Patrick Willems.
As much as we try to be original here at the Vitos and create our own unique categories, sometimes you just have to steal from the best. And by the best, we mean the MTV Movie Awards. So, to take a page from the most prestigious award ceremony there is, it's time to honor the best lip-locking moment in movies this year. The nominees for Best Kiss are Challengers, The Three-Way Makeout, The Idea of You, The First Kiss, My Old Ass, When Elliot Kisses Her Older Self, and Twisters, The Kiss That Was Deleted from the ending of the movie but was filmed and should have been in the actual film. And the veto goes to... I mean, it had to be. Challengers, one of the most iconic makeouts, you know, of the decade, if not of all time. Yeah, instant classic. Emma?
Presenting the award for Best Ass Whoopin', here's the Spinning Shillelagh, the Crusher of County Clare, Punches McGee, Patrick Willems.
We all thrill at the sight of sheer devastating cinematic ponage. Fists, guns, swords, crysknives, violently rotating columns of air. These were some of the many instruments this year with which people got their asses handed to them, or did the handing back of the ass to the other assless person in the movies. I feel like I lost my way through that last sentence a bit. Anyway, the nominees for Best Ass Whooping are Dune Part 2, Fade Rotha in the Arena, Hundreds of Beavers, Jean Kayak versus the Beavers, Rebel Ridge, Terry versus the Police Force, The Shadow Strays, the opening Yakuza fight, and Twisters, the Tornado versus Kate's Friends. And the veto goes to... The Shadow Strays. Just like straight up the best action that at least I saw in anything this year. That opening sequence goes so fucking hard. It rocks. Those asses got whooped really hard. Emma?
Presenting the awards for Best Performances Not Nominated for an Oscar, a guy who's never even been nominated for a dang Webby Award, Patrick Willems.
So, after about a dozen or so of these dumb nonsense categories, this is the part where we actually get mildly more serious to give out some acting awards. So the nominees for Best Supporting Performance not nominated for an Oscar are Austin Butler in Dune Part 2, Ingenue Ellis Taylor in Nickel Boys, Chris Hemsworth in Furiosa, Adam Pearson in A Different Man, Aubrey Plaza in Megalopolis, Tilda Swinton in Problemista, and Denzel Washington in Gladiator 2. And the veto goes to Chris Hemsworth, who really gave the performance of his career in Furiosa. Dementis, what a guy. One of the best, truly spectacular. Should be getting recognized by the Academy. Come on, guys. So anyway, moving on to the Best Lead Performance not nominated for an Oscar. The nominees are Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu, Jomo Frey as cinematographer in Nickel Boys. That's right, that is a performance in this movie. Josh Hartnett in Trap, George McKay in The Beast, Lupita Nyong'o in The Wild Robot, Aaron Pierre in Rebel Ridge, Léa Seydoux in The Beast, and Sebastian Stan in A Different Man. And the veto goes to... Hello, Patrick here from a few days after we shot the vetoes, just cutting in for one little correction. So we shot this episode a day before the Oscar nominations were announced. And so for the performance not nominated for an Oscar categories, I just had to make assumptions about what would and would not be nominated for Oscars. And I fully assumed that the Oscars would nominate Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Best Actress for her performance in Hard Truths, because, you know, I think that's the best performance of the year. It's like an all-timer, just truly like monumental performance. But anyway, so that's why I left her out of this category, because I thought she'd be nominated for an Oscar, and then she wasn't, which means that she like has to be the winner here, and so yeah, I'm adding this little like, I guess, correction segment here to say that the winner for Best Lead Performance not nominated for an Oscar is Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths. Obviously, she deserves an Oscar. In lieu of an Oscar, here is a gold spray-painted Funko Pop of Vito Corleone from The Godfather. Marianne, after watching this, or if anyone on your team is watching this, I'm happy to ship this out to you. That also seems very unlikely. You're not going to see this, but anyway, the offer still stands. The Oscars are silly. How could they mess this up? I don't know. They mess a lot of things up. I'm gonna stop now, but I just wanted to do this little correction so that the rightful winner could win, and now we can move on with the show. Thanks. Sadly, a number of beloved cinematic icons left us this past year. Chris Christopherson, Terry Garr, Carl Weathers, to name but a few. But at the vetoes, instead of focusing on what we've lost, we like to keep things positive and talk about what we've regained. Therefore, we are pleased to pay tribute to the deceased members of the film industry who, thanks to the concerted efforts of one of Hollywood's top cults, came back to us this year in a new segment we call In Resurrectium. By the way, I should mention, these guys aren't looking too hot and may be dangerous, so be careful if you see them roaming the streets out there. And now we move on to the centerpiece of the show. For some of you, this is the reason that you sat through all that nonsense in the last half hour. For me, The nonsense is the fun part, and this is the part that I only put together because I'm obligated to. My top 25 movies of the year. Like every year around this time, I have been frantically trying to cram in every single movie that I haven't seen, while also rewatching some that I just haven't seen in like 10 months and are just a hazy memory now. And what I can say is, I tried my best. I don't get invited to press screenings, I'm not in any guilds, so I'm just watching these movies like any regular person and trying my best and trying to watch everything, but it's impossible. So, before the list, here are the movies that I did not manage to watch before today. And now, let's hear from our crew. Emma, what were your favorite movies of 2024?
My top 5 movies of 2024 are Nickel Boys, Caught by the Tides, Challengers, Janet Planet, and I Saw the TV Glow.
Fantastic. And Nobbles is waving very animatedly, and if I don't let him talk, this is clearly going to become a whole thing, so fine. Nobbles, go.
My top 5 for 2024 is Wicked, Piece by Piece, Evil Does Not Exist, Hard Truths, and Wicked the Sing-Along version.
Well, that's over. So, here we go. My top 25, as in 25 favorite movies of 2024. Number 25, Better Man. That's right. Number 24, Kneecap. 23, The Wild Robot. 22, Love Lies Bleeding. 21, A Real Pain. 20, Dune Part 2. 19, Rebel Ridge. 18, Flow. 17, A Complete Unknown. 16, The Seed of the Sacred Fig. 15, Hitman. 14, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. 13, A Different Man. 12, Red Rooms. 11, The Beast. Okay, which brings us to the top 10, and number 10 is Look Back.
At 57 minutes long, I don't even know if this is considered a feature film, but whatever. It packs more joy and heartbreak and longing into that runtime than most movies 3 times its length. It's an adaptation of the one-shot manga by Tatsuki Fujimoto, creator of Chainsaw Man, about 2 teenage girl manga artists who begin as rivals and then become collaborators. So much of this movie is just these girls hunched over desks drawing, and it's one of the best things I've seen all year. Run, don't walk.
Number 9 is Trap. That's right, this is the one that is gonna piss some people off or convince them that they should never trust my opinions on anything ever again, but too bad, I don't care because I loved M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, and I think it's one of the best movies of the year.
This is a deliriously entertaining funhouse thriller of a movie that is often incredibly funny. Trap, like most of Shyamalan's recent movies, is clearly him processing a specific fear or feeling through a really crazy premise. In this story of a serial killer taking his daughter to a pop concert, Shyamalan is telling a surprisingly moving, deeply personal story about fatherhood and navigating a work-life balance. I was delighted the entire time, cackling with glee at each new crazy twist of the story, and of course, thrilled beyond belief to see a career-best revelatory performance by my boy Josh Hartnett.
Number 8, Hard Truths. Here, Mike Leigh sets out with a seemingly impossible challenge. Make a movie about the most unbearably miserable person in the world, a woman who makes life hell for everyone she encounters, especially her whole family, and then make you actually care about her?
Like, actually, this person of Grinch-level unpleasantness becomes a fully realized human being in a story about people dealing with trauma in different ways, and of course, this being British, so much repression. It's a movie that can be laugh-out-loud funny, and then later have an entire theater gasp audibly at a man tossing a bouquet of flowers into a yard. And of course, as the aforementioned most miserable person in the world, Marianne Jean-Baptiste is there delivering a performance for the ages.
Number 7, Hundreds of Beavers.
Mike Cheslick's micro-budget silent film comedy, an insane fusion of Looney Tunes, Buster Keaton, and video games, is a miracle of a movie that feels like it magically emerged from the frozen woods of Wisconsin. Hundreds of Beavers is an astounding feat of imagination, physical comedy, and the powers of Adobe After Effects. By the time the Beaver, Sherlock, and Watson show up, you might think, I've seen everything, and you could not be more wrong, because the Beaver space program is still like 45 minutes away. This is a movie that makes you believe in the power of movies.
Number 6, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
George Miller's prequel to one of the greatest movies of the century is far and away the best blockbuster of the year, which isn't really saying much, but still, in a less cruel world, this would be making Deadpool money. Instead of repeating the ultra-streamlined, relentless action of Fury Road, Miller takes a grander, mythic approach, telling a story across 5 chapters spanning years. While the vibe is different from Fury Road, Furiosa has the same relentless gonzo imagination and astonishing action, full of things that I've never seen in a movie before, including, another one of these, a revelatory career-best performance from Chris Hemsworth. I mean, this movie has characters named Piss Boy and the Octoboss. Obviously, it's in the top 10.
Number 5, Anora.
As I've mentioned once or twice or several times, I was at the Cannes Film Festival this year, and when Sean Baker's new film, Anora, won the Palme d'Or, let me tell you, no one was mad, because the one thing everyone agreed on is that this movie rocks. The first stretch of the movie, you're immersed in this world of sex workers and irresponsible, ultra-rich Russians barely old enough to drink, and it's a blast, but you know that at some point it has to take a turn. And then that turn turns out to be when it becomes a screwball comedy, turning into a hysterically funny odyssey of class differences that travels from Long Island to Las Vegas and back again. Mikey Madison arrives as an instant movie star, and the rest of the cast is full of people I've never seen before, but I now want to be in everything, with some of the best faces in any movie all year. No one is doing it like Sean Baker these days, and this is his best work yet.
Number 4, Nickel Boys.
Ramel Ross's adaptation of Colson Whitehead's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel about 2 black teens forced to attend a horrific reform school in the 1960s takes the first-person POV movie far beyond the gimmick it's been in the past. Here, the camera movements and editing are a part of the performance, and every glance, every head turn, every eye contact is a full-body emotional experience. This is maybe the most major contribution to modern American cinematic language since Speed Racer. This will sound crazy if you haven't seen the movie, but the hugs in Nickel Boys are some of the most astonishing moments in any movie this year. It's a movie that teaches you how to watch it, establishing the rules of its visual language, and so the moment when it suddenly shifts, whether in perspective from one character to another, or the placement of a camera filming the human body, hit like a ton of bricks.
Which brings us to number 3, and the winner of the coveted Bronze Swackhammer Award, The Brutalist.
I'm not going to use the word monumental here because that seems like it's the only word anyone is allowed to use to describe this movie. Brady Corbet's giant 3.5-hour epic keeps getting compared to things like The Godfather, which really just feels unfair. But this is the kind of ambitious film in both the scope of its story and execution that we very rarely see anymore. And it is so great to see Adrian Brody finally deliver the performance that we've been waiting 20 years for. In the story of Laszlo Toth, an architect who flees the Holocaust to emigrate to the US, it's tackling a whole collection of very weighty ideas. what America means, the formation of Israel, the reasons we make art, and the difficult relationship between art and commerce. And it pulls it all off thrillingly, hurtling forward with propulsive energy, returning often to an image of the camera zooming down a road. It doesn't feel nearly as long as it is. At the end of nearly 4 hours sitting down, yeah, my legs kinda hurt, but I would have gladly sat for more. Yes, there are some things in the second half and the epilogue that I'm still wrestling with, but I've been thinking about it constantly, and that's what we should want from a movie like this.
And now, my number 2 film of the year, the winner of the prestigious Silver Axel Foley, I Saw the TV Glow.
I went into Jane Schoenbrun's new film about teens in the 90s connecting over a cult TV show, expecting some kind of surreal horror movie about like a cursed show that haunts them or something. And this is not that. It's not even really a horror movie. There's only one jump scare, which comes in the end credits when you realize the dad was played by Fred Durst. I Saw the TV Glow is probably first and foremost a trans allegory, about the feeling of being trapped but seeing the possibility of a better, more full life on the other side. It's an incredibly bleak and lonely movie, and also one of the most unique and enthralling films about high school I've ever seen. And it must be said, the degree to which it nails the look and feel of 90s YA TV is unreal. This is an all-timer.
Okay, here we are. The big moment. My number 1 favorite movie of 2024, the winner of the Golden Vito, and I realized the irony of giving our big grand prize, having it be the same award that we give to like 15 other things. Anyway, whatever. The number 1 Golden Vito for my number 1 movie of the year goes to Twisters in 4DX. That's right, not Twisters the regular movie, Twisters in 4DX. The movie itself is a blast, a perfect throwback summer movie, but the 4DX experience, with the seats violently shaking to the point where I'm afraid to take a sip of my Coke, water spraying at you, gusts of wind all over the theater.
Patrick? According to the bylaws of the Vetoes, subsection 3, paragraph 5, a movie, and I quote, can't win Best Movie based solely on theatrical viewing experience.
Fine, God, you people just hate fun. Or maybe I hate fun if I wrote those rules. So anyway, yeah, okay, I'll pick a new number 1 movie that does not involve a button on your armrest to choose if you get sprayed with water or not. So my number 1 movie of 2024, winner of this Golden Vito, is the Oasis Girl So Confusing edit by Black Star Girl on TikTok. In a mere 30 seconds, this combined 2 of the most important cultural moments of 2024, Brat Summer and the Oasis reunion, using carefully selected moments from throughout the tumultuous history of the band. Black Star Girl weaves together a hilarious but mostly deeply emotional portrait of the relationship between Liam and Noel Gallagher.
Patrick, I hate to interrupt again, but according to subsection 6 of the bylaws, TikTok videos can't win Best Movie. Because I think they might be illegal now.
Oh my God, what is up with all these pointless rules? This show is a bunch of
Careful, Patrick. Bad-mouthing the rules of the Vetoes is one of 2 ways to get banned.
What's the other one?
Slapping the host.
But I'm the host.
Oh. Never mind.
Damn, when did the Vetoes get so strict? Maybe I don't want to host next year. Maybe I'll just let someone else do it. But whatever, let's get this over with. And so, my actual number 1 movie of the year, a real movie, I guess it has to be, it's Challengers. It's Challengers. That's it. That's my number 1.
Yup, this is it. The sexy tennis movie with all the techno music. This is my number 1. Simply put, I didn't have a better time watching any movie all year. There are no characters or relationships in 2024 cinema that I cared more about than Tashi Duncan, Art Donaldson, and Patrick Zweig in their saga of power, sex, and tennis. Luca Guadagnino, who I've loved since I Am Love, levels up to astonishing degrees here, with hyperkinetic filmmaking coupled with the pounding techno score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, giving us what might be the most thrilling sports sequences in film history. In the final moments, it took every bit of restraint I had not to join Tashi screaming, "Come on!" Were there greater artistic achievements of the year? Yeah, maybe. Is this the movie that I'm going to return to the most, that I think is most assuredly going to become an all-time classic? Absolutely. This is my favorite movie of the year, and it was a good year for movies.
Okay, we did it. We got through another one of these, another year of movies, another Vito Awards. Like I've said before, maybe one day we'll do an actual live show version of it, but not this year because I was too busy. But thank you for watching. These are always a lot of fun. Sorry that I did not have time to watch every single movie, but I did my best. I'm looking at all of the golden envelopes that are on the floor that I have to pick up now, but I think it's been fun.
I did it. I might have lost a couple of toes, but I did it. Right when it seemed that all hope was lost, I found Rex from Toy Story himself, Wallace Shawn.
Oh, God, no, I don't want Wallace Shawn in this. No, forget about it. Just delete the footage.
But my toes.
So looking ahead to the Vito's next year, one movie that I think is a top contender for some awards is The Dinner Plan, the upcoming comedy thriller short film I directed that will be premiering exclusively on Nebula this year. And, okay, I'm sorry, I'm being told that another Vito's rule is that I'm not allowed to give awards to my own movies, so fine. Whatever, but look, even if The Dinner Plan is not gonna win a gold spray-painted Funko Pop, it's still going to rock. Despite being a 30-minute movie, this is by far the biggest thing I've ever made, with a budget, I would say several times what we had for Night of the Coconut. So we had a crew of dozens and dozens of people, an incredible cast featuring Griffin Newman, John Hodgman, Miriam Shore, Eudora Peterson, Jeffrey Cantor, Cindy Chung, and hey, are you watching the new season of Severance? Of course you are. Well, Zach Cherry is in our movie, and yes, he's amazing. Right now, the film is deep into post-production, as in the music from composer Brian Matolius is almost finished. Now, making projects like this one has been my goal since long before I started on YouTube. But I was only able to actually do this thanks to this channel and this audience and Nebula recognizing that, hey, maybe YouTube creators can actually make bigger and better things if they just get the resources and support. And so, Nebula has been really getting into the motion picture game. As in last year, we launched Nebula Motion Pictures, the new studio arm of the company. You may have recently seen the news in Variety or The Hollywood Reporter or Deadline that Nebula's first scripted narrative series was announced, with executive producer Dan Jinks, who won an Oscar for producing American Beauty. And hey, maybe I'll be working on that show. Who knows? Let's wait and find out. Now, these projects aren't backed by VC money. Nebula's budgets come entirely from subscriptions. It is fans subscribing that allow us to keep making bigger and more ambitious things. So if you like the sound of this and you want to support indie film productions like these and me as a filmmaker, the best way to do that is simply to sign up for Nebula. And if you use my code, there's the link in the description, or here it is here, or there's a QR code you can scan, you'll get an annual subscription for only $3 per month. And a portion of that money goes directly into supporting my channel, which is great. But look, this isn't just about feeling good for supporting artists. The really important thing is that you get a bunch of great stuff to watch. Like, I have tons of exclusive projects, movies, and holiday specials and bonus videos that are only on Nebula. There are more great movies and series that are only available there, and that is just going to keep ramping up this year. Oh, and also, one of the most important things, Nebula doesn't have ads. So you can watch all the regular videos, but they won't get interrupted by commercials, and you don't have to sit through ad reads like this. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. It's just a better viewing experience. But look, for now, I've got to go get started on our next episode, which will be out on Nebula weeks before it drops on YouTube. So thanks for sticking with me through this, and I'll see you soon. Hello, everyone, and it's me, Patrick. The Vitos. The teleprompter is not on.
Patty will.
What's up? I think we got it.
I think so.
Was I appropriately manic?
Yes, I also think
yes.
just an idea for something to do to enhance it too. I thought you were great, but like just another thing I was thinking about was like when you're doing that rant, I wonder if you could like just slowly fade in like a sort of like chaotic like double overlay of clips from Better Man, translucent, like as if like as you're talking about it, like the images are like crowding around in your mind. So then when Emma goes Patrick, it like cuts again.
I love it.
And then you go.
Oh, and you can have little like overlapping sound from it that then.
I
just
mean,
like a, you know, like
yeah.
a bunch
like
of
coughing.